Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we are going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Sato trained Johnny during the events of the Karate Kid? Part 2. If you guys haven't seen Part 1, I would recommend you go watch it before continuing this one. So in this timeline, Cobra Kai would still be around, but they would just be another dojo in the valley. Johnny and Daniel would remain friends over the years, and using some of the money Daniel and Johnny made from winning tournaments, they would decide to expand Sato-do and make it available to the public. So during the 90s, Johnny and Daniel would co-run Sato-do, but by the early 2000s, Robbie would be born. Johnny would decide to retire from karate, and Johnny would want to spend more time with his family, so he would take his share of Sato-do and sell it to Daniel. So Daniel would fully own Sato-do in this timeline. Johnny would have a great relationship with Robbie and Shannon. He would be well off and happy. Johnny would train Robbie in Sato-do from a young age. Daniel would own the biggest dojo in the valley. He would be richer than he was in the original timeline. However, he would spend more time teaching his students than spending time with his family. So his relationship with Amanda, Sam, and Anthony wouldn't be that good. And Kyler would still be Daniel's student in this timeline. Daniel would teach him an aggressive form of Miyagi-Do, and the events of Cobra Kai would still happen. Johnny and Robbie would be at the convenience store, and they would see Kyler picking on Miguel. So Johnny would still defend Miguel in this timeline. Kyler and his friends would know Sato-do, but in this timeline Johnny would easily fight them off with the help of Robbie. Miguel would be impressed by Johnny and Robbie's skill, and he would still ask them if they could teach him some karate. Johnny would agree to privately teach Miguel. Robbie and Miguel would become friends, and at school, Miguel would be hanging with Robbie, and they would notice Kyler messing with Eli and Dimitri, so Robbie would decide to step in and defend them, and they would fight back. So there would be a school fight on a small scale between Robbie and Kyler and his friends. A couple other Sato-do students would step in to help Kyler, and they would all beat up Robbie. Johnny would be called, and he would be mad. So he would go to the Sato-do dojo to confront Daniel. Daniel would be happy to see Johnny, and he would introduce Johnny to his students as one of the founders of Sato-do karate. But Johnny would be furious. He would make a speech in front of Daniel's class. He would say that they were being brainwashed, that Daniel was training them to be bullies, and that Sato-do was formed to teach others to defend each other, but that ever since he left Sato-do, things have changed. He would tell them that he saved Daniel from Cobra Kai in the 80s, and that it was a shame that that tradition didn't carry on. And Johnny would make a sudden decision to tell everyone that he was going to be opening a dojo to be what Sato-do was meant to be, and that it wasn't too late to change. Daniel would be mad at Johnny. A couple students would go with Johnny, so Johnny would form Eagle Fang in this timeline. Robbie, Miguel, Eli, and Dimitri, along with a couple former Sato-do students, would all be in Eagle Fang, and Johnny would train his students in a similar way that Daniel was teaching his students. Eagle Fang and Sato-do would still have their rivalry. Sam would want to get back at Daniel for neglecting her over the years, so she would join Eagle Fang in this timeline. Johnny would quickly go to Okinawa to learn some more Sato-do secrets, and he would see Chosen after all these years. Chosen would be happy to see Johnny. Johnny would explain, and he would tell him all about Sato-do and Eagle Fang. Chosen would be mad at Johnny and Daniel for taking Miyagi-Do and making it about Sato and making a profit of Miyagi-Do, but Chosen would see that Johnny was trying to do the right thing, so Chosen would agree to help Johnny under the conditions he makes Eagle Fang free. Chosen would say that he would pay for everything. Johnny would agree, so Chosen would join Eagle Fang in this timeline. Chosen would teach the Eagle Fang students traditional Miyagi-Do, including kata, in the night of the tournament. The Eagle Fang would advance in their matches. Robbie would fight Kyler in the finals, and since Robbie had a lot more years of experience, he would defeat Kyler in this timeline. So Robbie would be the All Valley champion. Daniel would be mad, and Eagle Fang would start to grow. Chosen and Johnny would teach the philosophy that karate was for defense only, and that is where I'm going to end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Sato trained Johnny during the events of the Karate Kid? Let me know in the comments below. All members have access to emojis that can be used in comments and live streams. This isn't mandatory. This is only something extra if you want to support the channel even more. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.